from BS and Beer Media. It's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. He's going to score. He's got the five.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome in the Top of the Bleachers. It is Tuesday, May the 6th. Hungover from Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Get your bearings.
Yeah, we went out for Mexican food last night.
Did you get your margarita?
No, I had a beer. And they had a short beer or a tall beer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at the prices. Short beer is $2.30. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The tall beer is $8.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
there'd be a tall one.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, He's like, what do you want? And I said, Michelob Ultra off the draft. He said, you want it small or big?
I always say big.
Give me the big one.
I always say big.
They brought out a 32 ounce.
Oh wow.
Big old beer, and it was good. Lasted the whole meal. Only drank one. I was a good guy. Only drank one. So I had no hangover today. Good for you.
I can't hardly remember what I did last night. I watched some basketball, played some games. The wife and I she watches some crazy stuff. So like she'll just get on YouTube and be watching stuff. We come across something, weirdest conspiracy theories known to man. We'll watch 30 minutes of that and they'll be like, what is this weird shit? Find something else, or something, and then we watch something else weird, after about 30 minutes, be like, what are we watching? Let's go on something else.
And my guilty pleasure is like 11 o'clock at night. I'll flip over to like Discovery or something like that and watch one of those ghost hunter shows. Where they creep around some old place and they whisper the whole episode. Did you hear that? I didn't hear nothing, but apparently y'all heard something. What'd you hear?
Yeah, we were on a Bigfoot videos thing there for a little kick there for a little while. We watched all kinds of Bigfoot stuff, and these guys that went up there just trying to find them and all these sightings and stuff. It's crazy. I might be a Bigfoot believer. I might. If you've seen the things I've seen, you might think it too, bro. It's crazy. Some of the stuff that's happened, stuff they've seen and recorded and stuff. There's got some good pictures of something. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of man or monkey or something, but it's some kind of animal out there. I don't know if it's a Bigfoot, but it's an animal.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of those ghost hunter ones because, at some point in the episode, they have a psychic, and she like walks into this room and she's like, oh, something really disturbing happened in this room. I can tell, or she'll have to go outside and take a break because the spirits are too much in this place that they're in or something.
Wow. That's crazy. I gotta be honest. No, I'm not even gonna tell you. You just make fun of me. Never mind.
No, come on.
Anyway.
You gotta bring it. You brought it up. You gotta say it now.
I was gonna tell you my guilty pleasure the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching the Twilight series again. The movies.
No, yeah.
Yeah. That's some weird stuff, man. That's some
man. The Twilight TV show, Twilight Zone TV show, man, that was pretty good. But you've been watching Twilight, the vampires?
Yeah.
Like Team Jacob and Team Edward.
Yeah. I don't know why. I ran out of stuff to watch, and I'm just like, I want to watch this.
You must have ran out of stuff to watch if you're watching Twilight.
I told you. It's usually like I go to bed. Like when I go to bed, that's what I turn on to go to sleep to. Turn it on, and then I fall asleep. And then the next night I watch like the next 10 minutes and fall asleep. And then the next, it's kind of like that. I've only made it through 2 movies in like a week. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my guilty pleasure lately. I told you you'd make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you, man.
Yeah, you are. It's okay. I make fun of myself. So let's see. First up, what are we gonna talk about first? Today we got some NBA playoffs. We got sovereignty not going to be in the Preakness. And what happens if LeBron goes somewhere besides the Lakers? Where would that be? And what's our thoughts on that? You want to start there? What you think about LeBron?
What do I think about LeBron?
Where should he go next year? If he should he leave the Lakers?
Uh-huh.
And if he does, where should he go?
To the house. He should go to the house and never pick up a basketball again.
Okay.
I mean, I think he would probably. I don't know. This is kind of like the conversation, like you get somebody that's a good quarterback, like an Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that, and like I'd love for Aaron Rodgers to come to the Cowboys and back up Dak, but Aaron Rodgers thinks too highly of himself to be a backup. LeBron's at that point in his career where he needs to be coming off the bench. And I think there's too much of an ego there for LeBron to come off the bench.
He still had good stats, didn't he?
I'm not saying that he's not competitive or anything like that. It's just his age. You could tell by the end of that series that he's worn out, dude. He was worn out.
Yeah, I saw he might have a knee problem too, or something. They said
he just.
I mean, he still averaged 25 and a half a game. How many rebounds? Where we at here? Rebounds. 9 rebounds. And almost 6 assists.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not productive. I'm just saying that he's getting to that point in his life where you can't guarantee you're going to get, 30 minutes out of him anyway. So, and he's starting to become more injury prone. I'm just saying if he was willing to come off the bench somewhere, if he was willing to go and be a 6th or 7th man somewhere, which I don't think. I think his ego's too big. I don't think.
Well, who's better than him? Where he'd go? Like he'd be better than whoever was there, probably.
Well, okay. Let's say you put him on. Put him on a real young team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, his veteran presence is going to help out a lot, but you're only getting him for a year, maybe 2 before he retires anyway. Do you really want to, are you going to focus on getting him playing time or focus on the guys that are going to be there in 3-4 years? And that's kind of what I'm saying.
Well, the whole Laker thing, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know about this whole JJ thing anyway. It's from the start, and then it seems kind of worse. And then I saw somebody was like, who was it? Oh, Kobe didn't like him. Somebody said.
Kobe didn't like LeBron or JJ?
He didn't like JJ for some reason. He wouldn't even, or something happened. They were playing at I don't know what happened, but then Kobe, they were going to play at some game thing. I forget what it was, USA or something like that. And Kobe wouldn't let him score basically the whole game. Like, just show him, like, you can't score, 0. And embarrass him basically for a half or something because he didn't like him. So then people were like, man, if Kobe knew he was the coach of the Lakers, he'd be so mad. Well, I thought that's interesting. That's a strange. I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, do you
weird.
Really? I don't know. Like Kobe was retired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kobe was retired when he died. Like, was he really that involved with the Lakers after he retired?
I think he was. Yeah, and I think I want to say he was going to be involved in the WNBA as well. I want to say.
See, I'm
not sure about that.
I don't know. I don't know why these players stick around. Like, you made millions of dollars. You're famous. You know,
Mhm.
I'm probably the only basketball games I'm probably going to are my kids' basketball games. Those are probably the only games I'm going to. I'm not really that interested. You know, I wouldn't after, especially LeBron. LeBron been in the league what 25 years. After I played basketball for 25 years, I'm probably not interested in going to an NBA game ever again. You know,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
it's like me retiring from the post office and then showing up at the post office every once in a while. How y'all guys doing? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going back to the post office once I retire from the post office. You know,
Well, he's just
but
outside the top 10, but you know what's
I think LeBron.
Paulo and Franz both made top 10 scoring.
So there you go. Let's turn this question around on you. Okay. Let's say
Yeah.
LeBron leaves the Lakers. Let's say he goes to Orlando. Are you happy about that? That's what I'm saying. Like he would help.
Well,
He would
maybe.
help. He would help any team out there.
If he comes, are we trading somebody?
Oh, I imagine you
Or
probably
we
have to
keep-
give up. You probably have to give up everything you got to get him. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm
'Cause
not
I
giving up
don't-
Paulo or I mean, even Franz. Like, I'm not 100% sold on him just yet because he can be really inconsistent. He can be like go in a slump for like a few games and be like 6 points. You know what I mean? And then he has 5 in a row where he scores 30 something. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay. But man, we need a point guard, bro. That's what we need so bad. Screaming that last year.
Yeah, I'm just saying LeBron would help any team out there as far as point production, you know, stuff like that. He's going to help, but does he really help, or does he? It depends
know.
on. Like, is he at the end of his contract? Can you pick him up without having to trade? Can you pick him up by just signing him?
I think so. I think he's a free agent.
Well, then
I want to say.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
What if he goes back to Cleveland,
Let's see.
plays with Donovan?
That'd be wild. Let's see here.
There ain't. I don't want him on my team. I guess I don't have an NBA team, but if I had an NBA team, I don't want him on my team.
I don't think I do either. I mean, he's going to want to start, and at some point he's going to start to decline. I mean, he's got to at some point.
Well, he's already started to show wear and tear. I mean, he has to miss games during the season, you know, to keep himself healthy or whatever. I think you'd be better off just going with some younger people. Like, go get you 2 young guys that can do the same thing that one healthy LeBron can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It says he suffered MCL sprain. So
he suffers from quite a bit. The main thing he suffers from is his inflated ego.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, any place I can't think of anywhere where I'd want him to go. Really, he's going to go somewhere like New York or.
See, New York's got a good thing going. I wouldn't want to put LeBron in the middle of that. If I'm a team looking to add LeBron, I'm a team that doesn't have much right now. You know.
Well, it's going to be where he wants to go. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like some team's going to come.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, in his eyes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sure. Like
he's not going to go play for Washington.
I'm sure LeBron probably thinks that he can go and play for any team out there will take him. That's probably his, mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that. And it'll depend a lot about how much money he wants. Like, if he wants a max contract at his age, you can't do that, man. You just can't give him a max contract at his age.
Yeah, I don't see any teams, man, where
he would. Oh, man, he would help Portland. He'd help Charlotte. He could help,
Golden
He-
State might be a good spot.
New Orleans. Oh, well, I'd love for him to go to Golden State. That would be awesome. Then all the people I hate could be on one team. That
You
would
don't
be
like
awesome.
Curry? What?
I said all the people I hate. Curry's just mixed in the bunch. That's not his fault. He's
No.
just at Golden State.
You don't like Moody?
I don't like two people, LeBron James and Draymond Green, and they would both be in Golden State.
You made it sound like it was everybody.
No, it's just two guys, man.
I hate
hate it.
Golden State. I'm sorry, bastard.
No, I'm just saying that all the guys I hate would be on one team.
I'm not a fan of what's his face either. Green. I knew he was going to be good coming out of college. Though I could see it in him. He reminded me a lot of Magic in a way in college.
It's not that he's a bad player. It's not that he doesn't know how to play the game, or he's not a hustler or a dirty player. He is kind of a dirty player. That doesn't even bother me. It's the attitude. Okay. The attitude bugs me with Draymond Green. I don't believe that you should be able to turn around and scream in a ref's face and no repercussions come to you. And Draymond, I'm telling you, if I ref the game Draymond was in, that guy would be sitting in the locker room before the first quarter was over.
Well, they're pretty hard on him these days. Seems like not hard on him, but they don't let him get away with much these days. He looks at them crossways, and they're like, "T." You know?
Yeah. Well, he's brought that upon himself, though. And he's
Absolutely.
Also, I don't know if he's that great of a teammate. I mean, he sucker punched Jordan Poole in practice one day.
Yeah, I've seen some of that practice footage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the attraction. Like, I would much rather have somebody on the team that is.
He's one of those guys, right? That when he's doing everything he's supposed to do and he's doing it the right way, it's freaking awesome to have him on your team.
Sure.
Plays really great defense, rebounds, all that stuff. But the other side of that, the headache, the drama, the whining and crying, and just.
Well, the games that you don't have him because he's suspended, the games that
cost your team. Every time you get a technical, it costs your team.
Well, not just that, but then I don't know how many times I see him grab a rebound and run like his ass is on fire to the other end of the court, and he'll throw the ball away or he'll put up a stupid shot or something like that. It's like, you're not a point guard, okay? Freaking run the offense. There's even one. It's credited as the reason that Kevin Durant left Golden State. There's one, I think it was a playoff game. At the end of the game, they needed like 2 points to win the ball game. 8 seconds left on the clock or something like that. Draymond grabs the rebound, runs down there, misses the shot, and Kevin Durant is standing there wide open. When he grabs the rebound, Kevin Durant's in the backcourt with him, clapping his hands. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And he doesn't give him the ball, runs down there, jacks one up. They lose the game. And Durant's yelling at him, going back to the bench or whatever. That's why I'm here. Give me the ball, And then Draymond yells back at him. And that incident is credited to the reason that Kevin Durant got the hell out of Golden State and went somewhere else. Now, if that's true, I wasn't privy to what happened or any of that, but that's a rumor I've heard.
Huh. That's wild. That sounds about right. It'd be something like that would cause a little rift in
Sure.
the team. And then
You're talking about when you get into these teams that have like the big three, on their team, dude, you're talking about a lot of ego in one area. You got Luka, LeBron on your team. Okay, there's two big names right there. All right.
Yeah.
5 seconds left on the clock. You call the timeout. You got the ball, chance to win. Who you drawing the play up for? You draw the play up for Luka. LeBron gonna get his chosen one feelings hurt. You know,
I think they probably talked to him
you
before.
draw it up for Luca, and LeBron's gonna get his feelings hurt. You draw it up for LeBron, Luca's gonna get his feelings hurt. Well, that same thing happens when you got, big three on your team.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the LeBron situation, they went to him and told him, listen, we're getting Luca, or probably more like, hey, if we get Luca, he's going to be the guy, blah, 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 blah. Are you okay with that?
I bet
Before
you
they ever took him. I bet you they did.
I bet you that conversation never happened.
I bet
because
it
there
did.
were instances when Luca got there, they had one or two instances where it's time for the last shot, and the shot went to LeBron. It didn't go to Luca. And pardon the interruption and around the horn and all those things on ESPN. We're like, well, JJ's just got to go and talk and tell him, listen, we're drawing this play up for Luca, and get over the fact that LeBron's going to get mad about it.
Jeez, what a mess, bro. That's ridiculous.
No, anyway, yeah, but I mean, he's just not. He's not LeBron. He is LeBron, but he's not LeBron. Like, you're not getting the same LeBron that you used to get. You're getting a totally different LeBron. He's going to shoot threes. He's not going to put his head down and go to the basket as often as he used to. He's got to play less minutes. He gets hurt. You got to set him out, keep him healthy. I just don't. He's not going to want to come off the bench. I don't know what team out there. There is a team. There's a team out there drooling, hoping that they get LeBron. And maybe only because it's going to put butts in seats, and they haven't been able to put butts in seats. But is LeBron going to be willing to go to a place like that? Or is it going to – it's going to be New York, L.A., it's going to have to be a high market area. Wouldn't it be hilarious if he went to Dallas? They get rid of Luca, and then he comes to Dallas.
Wow. That'd be wild. Yeah, I think you're right. He has to be in some big market like Miami, New York, LA. I bet he stays in LA, to be honest with you.
I tell you what, if I was LeBron and I had my pick, if I knew for sure that I could go to any of the 32 teams out there, the team I want to go to right now is the Spurs. You get to play with Castle. You get to play with Wemby. You get to be the veteran on the team.
Yeah.
You could do some damage with those guys on your team.
It could. I thought of that when I saw that one, but I was like, eh.
But I don't want him to go to San Antonio. I want him to go to the house.
You may have to root for him if he goes to San Antonio.
I'm not going to. I'll just not root for San Antonio.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Who's their coach now? Who's coaching them?
Max. It's one of his assistants that's been there a while. It's like Max.
Christie? No.
No, Max. I don't remember. It wasn't anybody that I was like, oh yeah, that's a great hire or whatever. It was somebody I hadn't heard of.
Let's see. Mitch.
My bad, Mitch.
The team introduced Mitch Johnson as its new head coach during a press conference.
Which I was a little bit disappointed in that. Pop has had a female assistant coach on his bench for the last 14, 15 years. And I was really hoping that San Antonio would be the one who would break the barrier and get the first woman coach in there, but they weren't. They didn't do it.
Why would you want that? Why would you hope for that?
Because it doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever.
It seems like a weird thing to want. I don't know.
Well, they have to break the barrier at some point, right?
No, they really don't.
They don't?
Okay. No.
Okay. All right.
I just think that's strange. I don't think men should probably coach women either. I don't think that's necessarily appropriate.
I know that in high school and college, a lot of times, well, especially high school, you have men that coach the women's team because the school only pays for one coach. So that coach coaches both the men's and the women's.
Yep.
It also is somewhat like if I was going into coaching, like this is crazy to think, but
No, that's probably not, because I think I'm going to say the same thing you're about to say.
if I was going into coaching, I used to think that I would want to coach women's sports because it's more fundamental. Like you actually like have something to coach. You're coaching like the coaching in women's basketball doesn't change that much when you go to college or you go to the pros. You're approaching fundamentals because you don't find an athlete very often that can just run in there and split the defense and dunk it. I mean, it's not going to happen in women's sport. You got to move the basketball, you got to run your offense. So I always thought that women's basketball would be more appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a brother who is in administration, and all it takes is one of those girls to not like you or for you to upset them, and all they have to do is make an accusation towards you, and that's it, man. That's it. That's the end of your run. That's why a lot of coaches nowadays, like you have coaches, if they're a male coach, they don't go into the locker room unless a female assistant is with them. They don't do anything that is unsupervised. You're not around the girls when you don't have somebody else with you, because it is just so easy for a woman to put a false allegation against you and get you ran out of your job.
Yeah. So. Or that's to protect the girls too, in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure there were some scumbags who went into women's coaching so they could be in the locker room when the women were undressing and stuff like that. So I'm sure those scumbags are out there. But
probably. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Now, if I was going to coach a woman's sport because I was interested in how they looked, volleyball, I would have gotten into volleyball. Volleyball girls are gorgeous.
They are really.
Yeah.
I had a coach tell me one time, a friend of ours, that he was, going to coach basketball or football. He didn't know which one yet. So he tried basketball first. He said, I thought I'd like that. And he hated it. He said the ball goes up and it's complete chaos until the buzzer goes off. There's no time to set a play. There's no time. You know what I mean? It's chaos, chaotic, and especially at that age. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He said football's much more organized, much more. Okay, we've got 20 seconds. Let's call a play. Let's line up. Okay, let's run the play. Okay, now let's do it again. It's much more organized, much more in control. You know what I mean? He said basketball's he's like the ball goes up and then it's just chaos for a while.
Well, I mean, I imagine like your first play on offense, your girls probably, or your guys probably run your offensive play, but the next time down, they grab a rebound, they take off on a fast break, whatever happens. Next time down, you're 5 plays in and you've run your offense one time. I totally get it. I do get it.
Yeah. It's So I understand that, and I don't know. I think I would have tried it. I would have liked to have tried basketball, I think, but I probably would have liked the women's side more, I think, too, just because I always thought they listened better.
I just found
I want to say try harder, but try harder.
It's not that they try harder as much as it is that they don't you don't have a Caitlin Clark is a once in a generation kind of talent. You don't have that on your team. So the team has to work together in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. In men's basketball, you might have that one guy on your team that's better than everybody else. So when you need a basket, you put the ball in his hand and say, go get me a basket, you know. In women's basketball, you got to draw up a play. You got to, you know, like I said,
man.
you don't always have a Caitlin Clark who can jack it from the 28-foot mark.
Some of these girls are crazy these days, man.
They're
I saw
good.
some.
They've gotten a lot better over the years. It's
They
like women's wrestling. When I was a kid, women's wrestling was kind of a joke. Okay. I mean, they come in, they do some basic, you know, moves. They'd, you know, pull each other's hair. They'd swing, you know, there wasn't really a lot of wrestling going on.
Yeah.
And now you watch WWE, and 4 of the matches are going to be women's matches. And one of them might be the best match of the night. These girls are actually very talented and stuff now in the ring. Women's wrestling has come a long way. And I feel like that's women's basketball. Women's sports in general, I feel, have come a long way.
Have you watched any wrestling lately? Have the storylines gotten any better?
The storyline right now is great.
The Cena bad guy story?
Yeah, Cena's a bad guy. He has 20-something appearances left before he retires. He's holding the belt. Okay. He has 20-something appearances, and he is a great heel. He is in there telling the fans that it's their fault that he had to get hair plugs. It's their fault. One guy was like, okay, so who's his last match going to be against, right? That's what everybody wants to know and everything. So he's out there just berating the fans and all this, and he's talking about how he's the best and there's nobody back there in the locker room that can carry the company after he leaves and all this stuff. And then boom, RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton is in the ring, and it's going to be him and Randy Orton going at it for Cena's last match. And you couldn't have picked a better last match for Cena. I mean, those two have been wrestling each other forever.
Yeah.
So Cena 2 weeks in a row has gotten dropped by an RKO out of nowhere. So it's been a lot of fun. Last week,
so he's still a good guy. He's just a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, and they still do the same thing. Like half the arena, Cena, you know, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks, you know. So but
so crazy.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, Orton is in the ring and he's talking to Cena, and he's talking about how, you know, how can you turn on these guys? You've done the most Make-A-Wish, you know, wishes than any other person in Make-A-Wish history. You know, you've been all about these kids and hustle and loyalty and respect, and you've done nothing. And he says, how can you do this? And Cena just comes in. He's like, yeah. He said, Orton asked him at one point, I've always wondered, why did you never have kids? You know, you love kids so much. He says, you want to know why I never had kids? Because I spent 25 years raising these kids around here. And then some 8-year-old in the front row gives him the finger, and he goes, oh, classy, real classy. An 8-year-old just gave me the finger. It's hilarious, dude.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
But that's the only one I've been keeping up with. The rest of it, I don't really care about. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and all that crap going on. I don't care about that stuff. But the Cena thing has really been keeping me entertained.
Are you watching the whole show, or what are you watching?
No, they show. It's all on Netflix now. So, and I don't have Netflix, but the next day they put up, WWE puts clips on YouTube, so I can go through and watch it and fast forward through all the bull crap and watch the things I want to watch. So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they're going to meet at the next pay-per-view. So because Orton challenged him to a match right then, you know, you say there's nobody back there. I'm here. Let's do it right now. Put that championship on the line. He says, no. You do deserve a shot, Randy, and I'm going to give you one, but not in front of these assholes. You can tell that he's been a good guy for 25 years. He's been Hulk Hogan, red, white, and blue. Just he has been the epitome of a baby face his entire career. And you can tell in these last few months of being a heel that he has thought about being a heel for the last 25 years. Like he has been putting stuff away. Oh man, when I become a heel, this is what I'm gonna say. He's got a Rolodex full of stuff, man.
That's crazy. I don't watch any wrestling. I do see a few things on Twitter, but
Yeah.
And I saw that thing where he turned. I don't know how I saw that, but I did see that part.
Yeah, it was a good turn too, man. It was a good turn. Like he even turned the right way. Like he did it dirty. He like kicked the guy in the nuts. He kicked Cody Rhodes in the nuts, and that's like that's worse than hitting somebody with a steel chair from behind or whatever.
The disrespect.
The disrespect, man.
Well, you know what else is disrespectful, man?
That's another one of my guilty pleasures is I go on YouTube and I watch old wrestlers talk about wrestling. I watch Undertaker's podcast and I watch, Triple H will be on Stone Cold's podcast and I'll stop and watch it.
Have you seen this show, The Nightmare Behind the Scenes or Nightmare Behind the Ropes or something like that? It's on YouTube too.
Oh, are you talking about
horror stories behind the ring?
No. What's it called? It's called it's called like the dark side of. No, I've watched it. It's like a documentary.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Have you watched those? I haven't watched any of those, but I see those, and those are kind of intriguing to me. I might watch one.
They'll break your heart. They will break your heart. Like you grew up a Jake the Snake fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, I already know some bad stuff about him, but go ahead.
Jake the Snake in one of those Beyond the Ropes. Something like that. It's like Beyond the Ropes or something like that. Yeah. And one of those, he's holed up in a hotel room with a crack pipe and he's like, losing his mind pretty much because he's all tweaked out, smoking crack and stuff. And it's like, man, this guy. Yeah. And they were talking to Undertaker. They were talking to Undertaker one time, and he was like, "Who has the strangest, routine before they go out through the curtains?" I'm sure that there are guys that have like a, getting pumped up in the back or whatever before they hit the curtain. Who has the strangest routine? And Undertaker's like, well, I can't really think of anybody that had a strange routine. I can tell you who had the shortest routine, and that was Jake the Snake Roberts. He'd be sitting in the back in a folding chair, smoking a cigarette, and his music would hit, and he would stand up, stomp out a cigarette, throw the snake over his shoulder, and walk out the curtain. You never saw Jake the Snake in a gym. You never saw Jake the Snake working on his craft or anything like that. And Undertaker was like, and he was one of the best wrestlers I ever worked with because he didn't have a lot, but he knew how to get to what he had. Like he would, at some point in the match, he'd hit you with that short clothesline and everything was to set you up for that DDT,
Yeah. Yo, DDT, bro.
And they told a ton of stories about Damien the Python, about like how Damien would just like show up in somebody's bag. Like Jake liked to go in the locker room and just shove him in somebody's like, gym bag or whatever. And then after the match, everybody would go in, somebody would be getting in their gym bag and go to screaming like a little girl because, Damien was in there.
He did not do that to me one time. One time it'd be
apparently Macho Man was terrified of Damien. And Jake used it like, we're going to use this in the match, how scared you are of this snake. Tied him up in the bottom rope, He's tied up in the bottom rope, and he lets Damien out. And Damien bites him. You know, he aggravates the snake enough to get him to bite Randy or Macho Man. And that terror that you see in Macho Man's eyes was a real terror.
Jeez, dude.
Hold on, I got to plug in.
Oh. Well, enough on wrestling anyway. Some other stuff though we was going to talk about though was the Kentucky Derby when he comes back, or not the Derby, but the Preakness. We'll touch on that when he comes back here and gets all plugged in so his stuff don't go dead.
Yeah. My little thing came up.
So I saw that moving on. Moving on here. I saw that Sovereignty was not going to run in the Preakness.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, man. That means no Triple Crown this year. Usually when they hold a horse out, it's usually because they're worried about potential injury or something like that. Do you have a story on why they're...
I did, and then I lost it.
Oh. Okay.
Hang on a minute.
I set you up, and then you weren't ready.
I know. I was trying to get ready again. I had it pulled up. I don't know where it went. Anyway, yeah. Sovereignty skipping the Preakness. The officials announced Tuesday, ending any chance at a Triple Crown for the 7th consecutive year.
Yeah, but did they give a reason why?
Let's see. They said the plan will be to enter Sovereignty in the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah, they said, okay, so they're not entering them in the Preakness. After it was announced, the colt will instead focus on the Belmont Stakes. We received a call.
We want to do what's best for the horse.
Preakness Stakes is such around May 17th.
You always think about a Triple Crown, and that's not something we're not going to think about.
Man, that sucks. So the last, can you name the last Triple Crown winner?
No, I cannot.
2018. Does that help any?
2018?
Yeah.
Seattle Slew. What was that? 1990 something?
It was Justify.
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 Let me see here. If I can find a list here. Here's a complete list of history. Let's see here if it's true or not. Okay, so American Pharaoh. I do remember that one. That was 2015. I remember that horse. Okay. Affirmed. Definitely remember that one. Seattle Slew, 1977, bro. I was reaching out there a little bit, but
you were one.
You got me. Secretariat, Citation. That Citation horse there was supposed to be something else. And War Admiral was supposed to be a beast of a horse.
Yeah, I don't think any of them even come close to competing with Secretariat.
That horse was
take,
something else.
You take Secretariat, and I'll put it up again in its prime, and all the other horses in their prime. I'll put it up against any other Triple Crown winner. Secretariat was a stud. What about Seabiscuit?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was the movie about Secretariat? Was it just Secretariat?
Yeah. It's got what's her name in it? The lady that does Bridget Jones. No, not Bridget Jones. That's not the one I'm thinking of. It's got what is her name? Dude, I can see her face.
Oh, yeah. Diane Lane,
Diane Lane. I kept wanting to say Lori for
John
some reason.
Malkovich, Scott Glenn.
It's a good movie, man. It's a really good movie.
I've seen it. I get them confused. I get that one and Seabiscuit. They cross the
Seabiscuit is Toby Maguire.
yeah. But was that a true story though? Wasn't it?
I think
No.
I think it was kind of 3 or 4 true stories melded into one. I think I don't know if there really was a Seabiscuit.
The true story of Seabiscuit. A 45-minute made for TV documentary directed by Craig Hafner. It's a legendary Seabiscuit was a legendary racehorse. Became horse of the year in 1938.
Oh, it might have been before they had the Triple Crown.
No, because I just saw War Admiral won it in 1937 or something, and there was some after him. He raced 35 times as a 2-year-old and had 5 wins. 5 out of 35 races. Okay. He came in second 7 times though. So he was close.
So what was it that made him such a historic racehorse?
What was it? He came back, he wins the Derby, doesn't he?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like if you
okay.
only win 5
No, he faces dubbed the match of the century. He faces off against let's see. They 40,000 fans at Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore. And then millions of other people listen on the radio. Blah, blah, blah. Although the film's account of the events is very close to reality, its director gave some factual liberties. In the film, Pollard hurt his leg a few days before the race against War Admiral. However, in real life, Pollard's injury happened months before the race. Also, Pollard recovers just before Santa Anita handicap, but in reality, it took him 3 races to thoroughly prepare himself for the final race. Okay, whatever.
So it's a true, but not really true story.
It's true, but
some liberties were taken.
Yeah, just like when the guy got hurt, he'd actually got hurt a long time before that, and act like he got hurt, or 3 days later or whatever. He's riding the horse, you know what I mean? Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I'd like to watch both those movies again. I'm gonna look those up. Matter of fact, instead of watching
Twilight. Well, when you watch Secretariat, okay, 2 things in the movie Secretariat. Number 1, get you a box of tissues for the final race because you are going to tear up. Okay, it's just, especially if you actually make it through the whole movie, you get to the final race and it gets you, man. It gets you. And the second thing is that why she remained married to her asshole of a husband during this time, I have no idea. Every time her husband walks in, I want somebody to punch him in the face. He gives her no support through the whole movie. And then he shows up to show support at the final race. And you're supposed to think it's just this wonderful thing that he's done. And I'm thinking, lady, you could do so much better.
Yeah, true. All right, man. We'll just right quick hit this NBA stuff right quick. Then we got to get off here. because fixing to start up here. Let's see what time does it start.
6, I think.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. 10 minutes. Pacers, Cavs, Warriors, Wolves. Last night, Aaron Gordon with the big shot to take out the Thunder, bro. What the heck? They totally gave that one away.
I think they need to start putting a man on Aaron Gordon. That's his second ball game that he's won with a last second shot.
Yes.
One was a dunk. This one was a
Mhm.
3-pointer. Maybe you might want to guard that guy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they get. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, we'll see if they bounce back from that, and then the Knicks steal home court, bro.
I'm telling you,
Mm.
Boston's been walking around like they're just going to turn it on in the playoffs, and you can't approach basketball that way.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not giving up just yet.
They missed 45 3-pointers. Okay.
Yeah, I know it.
First of all, live by the 3, die by the 3. Okay. Second of all, after you've missed 20, maybe you might want to start driving the basketball and getting a little closer to the basket. Just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because you might make it.
Bro,
no,
they went 15 of 60.
Yeah, they put up 63 pointers. 60.
Wow, bro. That's nuts. Well,
After-
meanwhile, New York put up 31, but they made 54% of them.
That's what
17 of 31.
I just think it's a bad recipe to, Alabama did it last year. Alabama's whole strategy was to put up more 3-pointers than you. And that's great when you're hitting 3-pointers. When you're not hitting 3-pointers, it is a terrible strategy. And apparently Boston and Alabama don't have a plan B. Like when that's not happening, they don't know what else to do.
There is no plan B. Make your shots.
Plan B should be take your butt to the basket and hit a layup and maybe make it to the free throw line.
I agree. Well, let's see if the Pacers can put one over the Cavs here because they're up 1-0. So
Porzingis.
And then Warriors Wolves later tonight, game 1.
Yeah. Big surprise. I was surprised that the Pacers got the first game against the Cavs. They played really well, though. And Mitchell looked like he was worn out in the fourth quarter. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't really think that would be much of a series. I was kind of thinking that the Pacers might get one in Indiana. But who knows? This might be a 7-game series now that Pacers have shown. But Cavs might come out. Maybe that's the wake-up call they needed, and they'll come out and play like they've been playing all year. Who knows?
Yeah, might be.
Defenses change when the playoffs start. Like the open looks that you were getting during the season, you're probably not going to get in the playoffs. Other people have got to step up and be big for you.
Gets way more intense for sure.
They actually start playing defense.
I know everybody but Luka.
Yeah,
anyway,
Luka don't know how to play defense. They don't teach that in Europe.
All right, well, I'm gonna go grab some dinner and maybe take a nap or watch some ball and nap or something. I'm not sure yet. So I will catch you later, though, my friend.
I'll try and jump in the Discord a little bit.
All right,
and
good.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
All right, man. Or actually, no show tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to see the grandbabies tomorrow.
Okay.
So won't be in the area.
Before we get off here, is Abby okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Time to get a new vet.
I am about fed up with this vet. Yes.
What time was your appointment?
Well, 2:50.
What time did you get in to actually see the vet?
After 3:30.
Yeah.
And there was people that came in, got in, and left.
And you're still sitting there with
and
an
I'm
appointment.
still sitting there. And so I finally walked up there. I was like, "Hey, I've had an appointment at 2:50. I seen at least 3 people come in and out. I mean, y'all gonna call me back or what?" And they went to scuffling and shuffling and, "Oh yeah, she's got the room ready for you right now." Well, imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah. Okay. Good.
I hate.
Yeah, and then just I just like all I wanted to do, right, was because I'm on a budget right now. Okay, let's be honest with you, and all I want to do was get her nails trimmed. That's all I wanted. Take her for a nail day, right? Take it.
Sure.
What
Sure.
I mean?
Spa day, yeah.
And but I get in there and they're like, well, we can't do that until we do a wellness checkup. And she hasn't had she's passed her rabies shot and this shot and that shot and this thing. We need to test that. I'm like, you can't just trim her nails for me and let me go home. No, we can't do that unless we do this other stuff first. Okay, well, how much is that going to cost? Well, that's $194 and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I just want you to trim her nails. That's all I need. I don't need you to do all this other stuff. They make you feel like you're some kind of awful human being because you don't give your dog every shot there is known to man. And well, you son of a gun, you! I can't believe you wouldn't give him the 3rd trimester heartworm medicine from Saudi Arabia that's special for them, that type breed. What the heck's wrong with you? It's only $6,000.
I got when we were driving over the road, I had one of my Rottweilers with me, kitty cat, and we stopped at a truck stop in Atlanta, Georgia, like 2:00 in the morning, and I let her out to go pee, and the truck stop had a chain link fence around it, and there was razor wire on the top. And at one point on the fence, the razor wire had fallen to the bottom of the fence, and she got over close to it, and I guess she got her face too close to it, and she ended up slicing her ear. I mean, right along where the ear connects to the head. She sliced her ear right there, and her ear is hanging like half off. I'm in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia. My vet's all the way back in Conway, Arkansas. So I find a 24-hour vet clinic. We come pulling in. I take her in. There's blood. By then, I got the blood stopped, but her ear is hanging halfway off. And I'm like, what can you do for me and all this? First of all, they wanted to know if she had been dog fighting. And I said, yeah. And don't you ever watch a dog fight? They pull out a razor blade and fight each other. You're an idiot. Okay. I don't dog fight my dog. She got a cut by a razor wire. Can you please do something? So they say, yeah, our surgeon's back there, and he says he can sew it back on because, it didn't go far enough to really hurt anything. So he can sew it back on. It's like, all right, what's that going to cost me? $500 something bucks. Get this ear sewed back on. Right. And I made the joke. Well, how much would it cost just to lop it the rest of the way off? You should have seen the looks that I got from these people, man. It was like I was the worst human being in the world.
How did you even think of that?
The total bill was $750.
It's probably cheap nowadays.
I come walking into I told him first off, I said, she doesn't do well with strangers. You should probably let me go back there while they're doing this. Oh no, we can't have anybody back there. I'm like, okay, all right. So I hand her over and I go and find some breakfast somewhere. And then I come back to pick her up. And when they let her out, they got the big, cone of shame on her, and they have a pressure band on her. And I said, why does she have a pressure band on? Oh, she was really aggressive back there with it. I said, I tried to effing tell you that, and you wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah.
And then when they walked her through the door, she saw me and she comes running up and is loving on me. And the girl's like, well, that's not even the same dog. I wanted to punch that lady in the face. I was like, I tried to tell y'all that she doesn't do well. So now she's got to wear that C collar for, so long. And I was like, yeah. And I reached in my pocket and pulled out a pocket knife and reached down and cut the cone of shame off of her. And I was like, we're riding in a big rig. I don't have room for that big ass collar. She rides with me everywhere I go. I'll keep an eye on her, make sure that she doesn't mess with it. And again, they looked at me like I was just some, Neanderthal or something.
I know, bro. They make you feel like crap. Like,
I put her up in the truck, kept an eye on her. It was $700. I will give the surgeon credit. Once it healed, you couldn't tell that there was ever anything wrong with that ear. It was put on straight. It was perfect. But the looks I got, man, how much just to lop that thing off the rest of the way? Oh, my gosh.
That's probably they call Pete on you right then.
Yeah, really. I'm surprised I didn't get a sheriff. You've been dog fighting, haven't you? Yeah, I've been dog fighting. The other dog had a razor blade. You idiot.
All right, man. I'm gonna go. I'll catch you later. Catch you in the Discord.
I'll be there, brother. Go
All
Hogs.
right. Go.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.